Hey everybody, this is James Hernandez. How's everybody doing? And hope you guys had a great Halloween, and I hope you guys enjoyed my previous episode of Characters Face Off. I was happy I was able to work on it just before the Halloween season. Well, technically we were in the Halloween season, but I was happy to able to upload that video of the Halloween special of Characters Face Off. Now, speaking of Characters Face Off, guess what, guys? Today is going to be the 21st episode of Characters Face Off. That's right, we're on Characters Face Off episode 21. And today's episode is going to be a battle between two of the most violent young superheroes. That's right, we have Robin, Damian Wayne, versus Mindy McCready, aka Hitgirl. That's right, we're going to see which of these two young superheroes that are known for violence, and for one of them is like foul mouth. Well, one more is more foul mouth than the other, but still, we're going to see which of these two violent young superheroes would win in a one-on-one violent fight to the death. So without further ado, let's start the analysis. So first, let's talk about Damian Wayne. Damian Wayne is the fifth Robin from the DC Comics. He is the son of Batman, Talia al Ghul, and he's also the grandson of Thomas Wayne, Martha Wayne, and the great-grandson of Talia's potential grandfather, Sensei. He's the intelligent son of Bruce Wayne, also known as Batman, and Talia al Ghul, making him the grandson of Ra's al Ghul. Damian Wayne was raised by his mother for the first 10 years of his life, trained to be a formidable warrior in the League of Shadows, before learning of his father's and left in his custody to serve as a hindrance. Although misguided and malicious, I hope I'm saying that name right. Hope I'm saying that word right. Damian seems to be genetically one to aid and his father's war on crime and become the current Robin in the DC universe. Now let's move on to his skills and abilities, because since he doesn't have any powers just like Batman himself, but he is very skilled, so let's talk about his skills. Just like the previous Robins, Damian Wayne has martial arts skills, which he was trained by the League of Assassins, and he can use them more often. He is also very intelligent, as he has the brain of a genius IQ from Batman. Damian also has investigation skills, as being trained as the world's greatest detective, and he has been able to deduce people's actions and solve mysteries with a few amounts of data. Now, the next ability that he has is peak human condition, which Damian's body is prim to the height of someone of his age and frame. He's also really good at stealth, as he was capable to sneak into Gotham City and furthermore into the Batcave and variety undetected until he felt necessary. Now, Damian Wayne can also intimidate anyone's voices and speech patterns perfectly, as he intimidates Tim Drake's voice in order to gain access to the Batcave, which, imitating someone's voice in a creepy way is really impressive for this Robin. Now, in terms of weapons, Damian Wayne has a sword, which he uses it in combat against Nightwing, U-Boat, as well as Deathstroke. And he's very skilled when he uses his sword when he was fighting Deathstroke, especially in the DC animated universe. So yeah, that's very impressive. Now, the other weapons he has is the Batarangs. Now, the Batarangs is actually very similar to Batman's Batarangs, and he can use them to scout ahead and activate doors and distract enemies. He also has like a bow staff, which he uses it to pin targets above his high edge to interrogate them. And he also uses it to hit the target repeatedly and hit from a distance, and it's strong enough to like block bullets. He also uses guns to shoot down assassins and to threaten Deathstroke, and he also has like other weapons like the grappling hooks, explosive gel, and smoke pellets from his utility belt. Now, the other thing that this Robin has is his own bike, and it's called the Robin Cycle. The Robin Cycle, I will say. Now, when it comes to his feats, this Robin might be a troublemaker, but he is definitely far from those like troublemaking kid standards. This Robin has beheaded the tiger. He has redrained a man's brain dead with his punches while holding back. he was smart enough to hack the Bat computer and also hack into the government mainframes when he was 8 years old. He became the current member of the Teen Titans. He held his own against Tim Drake, which is one of the previous Robins, landed a number of cuts at Nightwing, defeated Ra's al Ghul's right-hand man, Yuba. He invades all the security cameras in Gotham, easily identified his father before he met him. He even beats Jason Todd throughout physicology, warfare, and fights dirty. He also has defeated the likes of Deathstroke, Ra's al Ghul, as well as his own father Batman in combat, and he also became a mentor figure to Terry McGinnis in the distant future. That's right, he became the mentor figure of Batman Beyond, Terry McGinnis. However, this Robin does have his weaknesses because Damian is actually extremely rude and blunt to his opinions. He's extremely cocky and arrogant. He can be very murderous when he loses his temper. He ultimately only trusts himself and is even more stubborn and untrusting. And he also underestimated Blue Beetle in a sparring match that nearly killed him. But overall, this Robin is an extremely skilled, trained fighter and physically powerful, stealthy, and very intelligent, although his bad attitude really does keep him from doing his best. Now it's time to talk about his opponent, and that is Hitgirl, Mindy McCready. So Mindy McCready, aka Hitgirl, is the character from the Kick-Ass comic book trilogy as well as the Kick-Ass movies. Mindy McCready is a young but ineffective vigilante who was trained by her father, Damian McCready, also known as Big Daddy, from an early age to be his sidekick. Now, just like her father, Hitgirl has a vendetta against the crime lord Frank D'Amico, who is the main antagonist of the first book as well as the first movie, for sending her father to jail on false pretenses while told that her mother has died giving birth to her. Now, despite Damon died and the new guardian Marcus Williams attempting to have her live in a normal life, Mindy continues her crime-fighting activities and continues to be Hitgirl throughout her entire life, and she is so good at it. Now let's talk about her skills and feats. Just like Damian Wayne, Hitgirl has martial arts skills, and she has been trained at the very young age. The nature of Hitgirl's training has made her particularly brutal and remorseless in combat. Her physicality and skill set are variety unmatched by any character in the Kick-Ass universe. Now, Hitgirl also was trained to take a bullet with a bulletproof vest, of course, and she's also really good at hand-to-hand combat when she uses those to fight and blunt and bladed weapons, and was taught about guns and educated in action movies. She also is very acrobatic, as she uses her acrobatic skills when she was going toe-to-toe against Frank D'Amico's henchmen when she was teaming up with Kick-Ass, and she's also very acrobatic when she was fighting Mother Russia in Kick-Ass 2, when she was teaming up with the rest of the superheroes like Kick-Ass and many other heroes throughout the Justice Forever team during the climax of Kick-Ass 2. Now, in terms of weapons that Hitgirl has, she has a throwing knife, a butter knife, a detachable sword, and she also has guns like the Smith & Wesson Model 629 Classic and the Admiral Needle, and she can also use a flamethrower one time in the comics, which is, just like how Rorschach from Watchmen was able to use the flame thing to burn the police. That is crazy. And she also has other guns like the Bertia 92FS, a Hexler Coach MP5 and MP4, not 47. And Hitgirl also has a purple 1199 Penny Gale, which is a motorcycle that she drives, and that motorcycle has the top speeds of 186 miles per hour, which, that's really fast for her own motorcycle. Now, when it really comes to her feats, Hitgirl has survived a shot from Chris D'Amico, slaughter through the entire hallway of gangsters. She was able to train Kick-Ass while partnered with him in crime fighting. She was durable enough to take beatings from Mother Russia, and she has even defeated Chris D'Amico as well as Mother Russia. And she has even killed Chris D'Amico's henchmen in the dark when Big Daddy and Kick-Ass were held captive in a very disturbing news live video, which was on the news, which, yeah, that's very disturbing to watch. But however, despite how skilled she is, she does have weaknesses, because she doesn't have an actual childhood like every child, whatever a boy or a girl has. Her strength actually does have limits, and despite her durability, she can still die and get seriously hurt when she gets beaten up by Frank D'Amico as well as Mother Russia. But overall, Hitgirl is a dangerous, violent young superhero with combat, weapons, acrobatic skills, although she can still get hurt because her durability and strength does have limits. Okay everyone, now that I analyze these two characters, it's time for me to decide who would win this fight. And I gotta say, this is actually going to be very close because both Damian Wayne and Mindy McCready are very skilled when it comes to their own martial arts, and both of them are very good when it comes to their weaponry as well. So, if this fight actually takes place somewhere in the garage or maybe in the Batcave, then this actually would be really cool to see. Because both Damian Wayne Robin and Hitgirl are very similar to each other, as both of them were trained when they were very young. Like one was trained when she was 10, while Damian Wayne was trained when he was 8. So this really comes down to who is actually the most deadliest, violent young superhero in their childhood years. So, in terms of who do I think is going to win in this fight, I think I might have to go with Damian Wayne Robin, and here's why. Because Damian Wayne does have a lot more advantages, and he's actually much more skilled than Hitgirl. Now, don't get me wrong, Hitgirl is extremely skilled herself, especially when she was training Kick-Ass, and when she fought Mother Russia and all the other villains that Chris D'Amico, aka MF, I'm not going to say his full name because, yeah, but yeah, she's actually very skilled when she has been fighting like a bunch of gangsters that were like working for Chris D'Amico, and she has fought the villains that were led by Chris D'Amico. But this Robin right here is just more, just much more durable, and he seems to have like much better training, and he has even like fought the likes of Deathstroke, Ra's al Ghul, Yuba, and plenty of other characters throughout the DC universe, even when he was trained by Batman. Yeah, Batman is his father in that universe. So, yeah, I think these two would put up like a really good fight. And it's also going to be pretty much like a bloody, violent fight because these two superheroes are considered to be one of the most violent superheroes in comic books. And yeah, if these two actually confront each other like somewhere like in the garage, and it can be one of those like, I don't know you, you don't know me kind of fights, and one of them might think that one of them is like working for either Ra's al Ghul or Chris D'Amico or Frank D'Amico, then that's where these two will go into a fight. Now remember, they cannot call either Batman, Big Daddy, or even Kick-Ass to help them because this is a one-on-one fight. So in terms of who would win in a one-on-one fight, I think that Damian Wayne is going to defeat Hitgirl in this fight. Now, there's actually one thing I can definitely see Hitgirl might be able to win against Damian Wayne, is that if she was able to insult Damian just by saying all these foul words coming out of her mouth, and that actually might give her the edge because Damian Wayne, because his biggest weakness is his attitude, and he really does become extremely cocky and arrogant. So if Damian Wayne does become really arrogant and then he basically just like lets his temper get the best of him, then I can see Hitgirl might be able to get the edge in order to defeat Damian Wayne. But for the most part, I think Damian Wayne just has the superior strength, superior skills, weaponry, as well as durability. So it's really hard for me to decide because I actually am more familiar with Hitgirl than I was with Damian Wayne Robin. But just like in every Versus show, and just like what I said in the previous episode of Characters Face Off, I cannot pick winners based on who do I like more. I have to pick winners on who has superior abilities and who's a better fighter and who has superior feats. So if Hitgirl and Damian Wayne actually fought each other, this would actually be really fun to see. It actually would be pretty graphic and really violent to see as well, since, like I said, these two young superheroes that are very young, one is like 10 years old while the other is 8, is going to be like pretty violent. So, but I can actually see these two actually, become good friends, and they can develop a relationship, and they can team up. And I can totally see that, in my mind. So, but as for a one-on-one fight to the death, I think Damian Wayne's gonna win. So yeah, unfortunately for Hitgirl, I'm sorry. So it looks like in the end, this Robin isn't afraid to hit a girl. The winner is Damian Wayne Robin. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate this. If you guys really enjoy my channel, please subscribe, hit that like button, and turn on the notifications for future videos. And stay tuned that I'm going to be doing the 7th chapter of the Marvel Transformers crossover. So yeah, if you guys have seen my community post about like what some future projects I'm going to be doing, now the fact that I already did my Halloween themed videos, I'm going to be getting back into the regular schedule. So yeah, like if you guys have seen my community posts, the next one I'm going to be doing is the 7th chapter of the Marvel Transformers crossover. So stay tuned for that one. And I would love to hear from you guys. What did you guys think of Robin versus Hitgirl, Damian Wayne version of Robin going up against Hitgirl? And who do you guys think would win? Did you guys think Robin would win, or do you guys think Hitgirl would win? Let me know in the comments below. And stay tuned for the next episode of Characters Face Off, because it's going to be extremely chilly. But I won't say it, but I'm going to show you guys the preview for it. So it's going to be very chilly when the next episode comes soon. So stay tuned for that. And hope you guys enjoyed this brand new episode of Characters Face Off. And I'll see you guys next time. And take good care of yourselves, all right? Bye, guys.